In a world that never truly sleeps, where the glow of screens replaces the warmth of the sun, and the constant hum of notifications fills the space that once belonged to silence, we have forgotten what it means to simply be. We rush through life as if chased by invisible hands, moving faster and faster, yet going nowhere at all. We scroll endlessly through digital illusions, consuming fragments of lives that are not our own. We chase goals that lose their meaning the moment they are achieved. We build cities of light but live in darkness within. Our thoughts, like the traffic that clogs our streets, never stop moving, loud, chaotic, restless. We call it progress. But at what cost? Somewhere along the way, we have begun to worship speed. We have equated stillness with weakness, quiet with boredom, and solitude with loneliness. We fill every moment with sound, with movement, with distraction, terrified of what we might find in the silence that remains. And so, we run. We run from stillness, from reflection, from the mirror that shows us who we truly are when the noise fades away. But the more we run, the more the void inside us grows a hunger that no achievement, no possession, no applause can satisfy. Yet amid this storm of constant doing, there are fleeting moments, brief, almost invisible when the world slows. A breath taken between meetings, the pause between one song and the next, the moment before the sun rises and the city awakes. In those moments, we touch something ancient, something eternal, the stillness that has always been there, waiting beneath the surface of chaos. Peace is not found by escaping the world, but by standing still within it. It is not the absence of noise, but the mastery of it. The wise do not run from chaos. They learn to be calm inside it, to act with awareness, to move without haste, to live without resistance. Stillness is not withdrawal. It is clarity. It is strength. It is the art of being fully alive in a world that has forgotten how to stop. This is not a story about leaving the world behind. It is about returning to it differently, to walk through the storm without being swept away, to live among noise without letting it enter the soul, to find meaning not in motion, but in presence. This is a journey into the art of stillness, in chaos, zen, and action. The world will not slow down, but you can. And when you do, you will realize that silence has never left you. It has been waiting patiently for you to listen. The true origin of chaos is not out there, in the traffic, the news, or the noise of the world. It is within us. The outer world merely reflects the turbulence of the inner one. Our minds, restless and untamed, are like wild oceans in a storm, waves of thought crashing one after another, endlessly. We try to find peace by rearranging the world, by controlling others, by fixing everything outside of us. But the more we fight the outer storm, the more violent the inner one becomes. For what we call chaos is often nothing more than our inability to be still. Eckhart Tolle once said that the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. Marcus Aurelius, 2,000 years before him, wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." And long before both, the Buddha taught, you cannot calm the storm. What you can do is calm yourself. The storm will pass. When you close your eyes and listen, you'll notice that most of what we call thinking is not conscious choice, it's noise. A flood of automatic reactions, fears, desires, and memories pulling us in every direction. We live not in the present, but in the endless chatter of the mind, arguing with the past, fearing the future, constructing stories about who we think we are. And so we suffer not because the world is chaotic, but because we identify with the chaos within us. The mind, when uncontrolled, becomes the source of all unrest. It runs from one desire to the next, one worry to another, one plan to the next escape. We wake up and reach for the phone before we reach for awareness. We chase validation, attention, and noise, mistaking them for life itself. But this constant movement is not living, it's running. Zen teaches that the mind is like water. When it's agitated, you can't see your reflection. But when it's calm, everything becomes clear. The world does not need to change for you to find peace. Only your perception does. When you understand this, the whole game shifts. You stop fighting the storm and start mastering the sail. Stillness begins with awareness. To observe the mind without judgment, to notice the thought without becoming the thought. When anger arises, see it. When fear appears, watch it. When the urge to react comes, breathe and let it pass. The moment you step back and witness your thoughts instead of drowning in them, the storm begins to quiet. What we are searching for, clarity, peace, freedom, is already here beneath the waves. But to reach it, you must stop swimming against the current. You must learn to float to surrender, not in defeat, but in understanding. The world outside will always have storms. The question is, will you let them rule your mind, or will you find the eye of calm within them? For the chaos was never in the world. It has always been and will always be in the restless mind. We spend most of our lives trying to control everything. Our image, our future, our emotions, even the people around us. We believe that if we can just manage every detail, if we can make everything perfect, then maybe we will finally feel safe. But the truth is, this desire for control is the very seed of our suffering. The tighter we hold on, the more life slips through our fingers. The ego, that inner voice constantly whispering, I, me, mine, thrives on this illusion. It feeds on comparison, fear, and pride. It tells you that you are what you own, what others think of you, what you've achieved. It creates endless stories about success and failure, superiority and shame, building a fragile identity that depends entirely on things you can't truly control. The moment life doesn't go according to plan, the ego panics because it believes that if it loses control, it will cease to exist. But in the philosophy of Zen, control is an illusion. The more you try to shape the world to your liking, the more the world resists. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Lao Tzu went even further. By letting go, everything gets done. What they all understood is that real strength is not in control, but in surrender, not passive surrender, but intelligent acceptance. Imagine a sailor in the middle of a storm. He cannot command the wind or calm the sea, but he can adjust his sails. The difference between chaos and mastery is not control, it's awareness. When we stop fighting reality and start flowing with it, life stops feeling like a battle and starts feeling like a dance. In stillness, you begin to see how much of your suffering was self-created, how much energy was wasted on trying to bend reality instead of understanding it. The ego says, I will find peace when everything is under control. The awakened mind knows, I will find peace when I no longer need control. To live without control is not to live carelessly, it's to live consciously. It's to act fully, but without attachment to the outcome. It's to understand that you cannot control the waves, but you can learn to surf. That is the essence of Zen in action. Full engagement, zero resistance. When you let go of the illusion of control, you don't lose power, you gain it. Because now, your energy is no longer wasted fighting what is, it is directed toward what can be. You start living in harmony with the flow of life, not in opposition to it. And slowly the noise inside begins to fade, replaced by a quiet confidence, a knowing that whatever comes, you will remain unmoved. For when the ego dissolves, only presence remains. And in that presence, there is no chaos, only clarity. There is a sacred space that exists beyond thought, a space so simple, so quiet, that most people overlook it their entire lives. It is the present moment, the now, the place where life truly happens. Yet most of us are never really here. We live in fragments of time, half in the past, haunted by regret or nostalgia, half in the future, anxious about what might come. Our minds jump from one worry to another, one plan to the next distraction, always somewhere else but here. But here, this moment, this breath is all that truly exists. Everything else is memory or imagination. When you begin to understand this, a subtle but profound shift happens inside you. The noise begins to thin out. You start noticing the details, the sound of the wind through the trees, the rhythm of your breathing, the faint hum of life itself moving through everything. It is as if the world, which once felt distant and chaotic, suddenly becomes alive again. Eckhart Tolle calls this the power of now. It is not a new teaching. It is the very essence of Zen, of Stoicism, of every great wisdom tradition. The Buddha said, "Do not dwell on the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." Marcus Aurelius echoed the same truth. Confine yourself to the present. Because when you live fully in the present, you are free from the ghosts of what was and the fears of what could be. Presence is not something you achieve, it is something you return to. It is your natural state, hidden beneath layers of thought and habit. You don't become present. You remember that you already are. Every time you bring your attention back to the breath, to a sound, to the feeling of the moment, you take power away from the mind and return it to awareness. In presence, there is no chaos. The storm of thought may still swirl around, but you are no longer in it. You are the calm observer, the still point at the center of all movement. You begin to realize that peace was never lost. It was simply buried beneath your constant resistance to what is. And as presence deepens, so does perception. You act, but without haste. You listen, but without judgment. You move, but without losing balance. Every step, every word, every silence becomes part of a greater rhythm, life itself, unfolding effortlessly through you. This is what it means to live in stillness within chaos. The world outside doesn't change, the noise, the speed, the uncertainty remain, but your relationship with it transforms. The same world that once overwhelmed you now becomes your teacher. Every sound, every challenge, every breath becomes a doorway back to awareness. Presence is not about escaping life, it's about returning to it fully. To be here, completely, to see, to feel, to live without distraction. Because the present moment is not just where life happens, it is life itself. And once you truly taste it, you'll realize peace was never something to be found. It was something to be remembered. Stillness is not sitting in silence, detached from the world. It is not retreating to a mountain cave or renouncing society. True stillness, Zen stillness, is movement without noise, action without friction, strength without aggression. It is the ability to walk through the chaos of life while remaining untouched by it, like the calm surface of a lake that reflects the storming sky without becoming the storm itself. Zen calls this action in stillness, stillness in action. It is the paradox at the heart of mastery. The samurai knew it. The Stoics lived it. The monk sitting in meditation and the warrior in battle are not so different. Both are deeply present, completely aware, unmoved by the noise of thought. The difference is not what they do, but the state from which they act. When you are truly still inside, your actions become pure. You respond, not react. You move, not because you are pushed by fear or desire, but because it is time to move. You speak, not to fill the silence, but because truth arises naturally. This is the art of living with grace, of being fully alive without being consumed by life. In our world, people mistake rest for laziness, quiet for weakness, patience for inaction. But stillness is not passive, it is precision. It is clarity sharpened through presence. The archer does not release the arrow in panic. He breathes, he focuses, he waits for the perfect moment. That is Zen in action. The master carpenter does not rush. His movements flow effortlessly because his mind is steady. That is stillness in motion. The same applies to you. Whether you are creating, leading, speaking, or simply walking, stillness transforms the quality of everything you do. It turns effort into art. It replaces anxiety with flow. It turns chaos into rhythm. Because when you stop fighting the noise and learn to move through it, life itself becomes meditation. To live with stillness is to live with intention. To eat slowly, to listen deeply, to speak truthfully, to work with presence. You no longer chase moments, you inhabit them. Every task, no matter how small, becomes a spiritual act. Making tea, answering a message, walking down a crowded street, all can be sacred when done with awareness. In the Zen monasteries, monks clean floors, chop wood, and carry water as forms of meditation. Because enlightenment is not found in escape, it's found in attention. The ordinary becomes extraordinary when you are fully here. That is the art of stillness, not separation from life, but immersion into it with complete awareness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." That is the heart of it. You can carry stillness with you wherever you go, in meetings, in noise, in heartbreak, in success. You don't need to stop the world to find peace. You need only stop within it. When you understand this, life stops being a struggle and becomes a dance one, where chaos and calm coexist, where movement and silence are one. The waves may rise, but you are the ocean. The storm may come, but you are the sky. And in that realization, you discover a truth as old as time. Stillness is not the opposite of action, it is its highest form. And so, after the storm, after the noise, after the endless battles within, there comes a silence. Not the silence of absence, but the silence of presence. The kind that hums softly beneath all things, like the quiet breath of existence itself. In that stillness, you begin to see the truth, that peace was never something to find. It was something to remember. It was always there, buried under the weight of desires, fears, and thoughts that were never truly yours. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul. It is a router man's for beast too well." That is the essence of Stoicism, of Zen, of all true wisdom traditions. To return home, not to a place but to a state where you are no longer pulled by the gravity of the external world, but anchored in the eternal center of yourself. Stillness is not the end of movement. It is movement refined, a flow so pure that it becomes invisible. It is not indifference. It is the highest awareness, where you act not from reaction, but from clarity. In the words of Eckhart Tolle, when you become comfortable with uncertainty, infinite possibilities open up in your life. Because only the still mind can truly move freely. Only the one who has mastered silence can speak truth. And only the one who has conquered himself can walk through chaos untouched. So when the world screams for your attention, return. When your thoughts begin to spiral, return. When life feels too heavy, return. Return to the stillness that is always waiting within you. That stillness is your true nature. It is not a destination. It is home. When the storm has passed and the noise fades into memory, what remains is something subtle, almost imperceptible yet unbreakable. A quiet flame, not of fire, but of being. It flickers not in the wind, but because of it. It has burned through fear, through doubt, through every false identity you once clung to. And now, what stands is the essence of who you truly are. Naked, timeless, aware. This is the eternal flame within the human spirit, the same light the Stoics called logos, the Buddhists named the awakened mind, and the mystics of every age whispered of in silence. It is the part of you that no chaos can touch, no loss can extinguish. Marcus Aurelius knew this when he wrote, "The blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything thrown into it." That is the way of the inner warrior, not to escape chaos, but to transform it. Every wound becomes wisdom. Every fall becomes strength. Every ending becomes the beginning of clarity. In that transformation, you discover that freedom is not the absence of chains. It is the realization that you were never truly bound, that you are not your thoughts, not your failures, not even your past. You are the awareness watching it all, the calm eye in the storm. And so, you stand there, still, silent, alive, while the world continues its eternal motion around you. But within, there is peace, unshakable, radiant peace. That is the Stoic path. That is the way of Zen. That is the art of returning home to yourself. So when you look into the mirror tomorrow, if I do not ask, what do I need to become? Ask instead, what can I let go of so that I may return to who I already am? And sit or challenge the captains of wobble, because the truth is the storm was never your enemy. It was your teacher. And now, from the ashes of chaos, you rise not as who you were, but as who you were meant to be all along. This is the eternal flame. Keep it alive,